Hi, this is Tim Fembert with LeaderGov.
Hi, I'm Bill Stark. Good to see you.
Yeah, we're really glad to be with you today to talk about this most important issue of trust and how, as a leader, you can create an environment of trust on your team, and really what would be the benefits if you had trusting relationships on your team. And we know at the end of the day, when you create that environment, you can create commitment, you can overcome conflict, you can have accountability on your team, and you can get things done, which is kind of what we're all trying to do. So we're just really glad to be with you to talk about trust today.
Yeah, it's a really important topic. It's foundational. You know, if you think about building a house, what's the first thing you do? You lay a foundation. And so trust, what we're talking about today, is really at the core. It's a foundational element of everything you do in your leadership. And, you know, there are different types of trust. There are different ways that we kind of interpret the word trust. So if someone on your team is going to lunch and they're taking an order to go to Subway and bring back sandwiches, you say, I trust you're going to bring back the sandwiches I ordered. So you are actually trusting the person that they're going to do what they say. You might say something like, I trust that you're going to keep what we're talking about confidential. So I'm sharing something with you that's confidential, and I trust that you'll keep that confidential. And so when we have a relationship with someone, when we trust them, we're basically saying, I'm depending on you to do what we talked about. You're trusting them. There's kind of another, maybe deeper level of trust that we really want to get to on our teams. And these are some words you want to hear on your teams. It's things like, I'm sorry I messed up. Or, I really don't know what's going on with this project. I'm a little confused. Could you set me straight? Could you get me back on the path? Maybe I'm in over my head. I bit off a lot more than I can chew. Can you help me? So, and another one would be, I'm sorry I messed up. These are key phrases on this area of trust that if you hear those words in your department, it means something good's happening. People are being honest. They're being vulnerable. And when you get to that level of trust, you're going to have significant success in terms of culture, teamwork, camaraderie, and productivity.
But, what if you don't hear those words? What if it's seldom that you hear people say that they're sorry or that they admit that they made mistakes? Maybe mistakes are being made, but you just don't hear that type of language. As a leader, it really is your responsibility to kind of create this environment. And that's really what we want to talk about today. And at the end of the day, you have to start with relationships. People, you can't go to your team and say, hey, you need to be more vulnerable. You need to admit when you're wrong. They just won't do it, particularly with other teammates, unless there's this foundational trust that Bill's talking about. So the question is, what can you do as a leader to create that? And the answer is you have to create opportunities for your team to build relationships. It starts with you, your relationship with your employees, getting to know them at a deeper level, understanding what their challenges are, what's going on in their lives, and encouraging your teammates to have that same level of understanding and relationship with each other. And that's really the key here. Trust is an outshoot of great relationships. You can't really fix trust. You got to fix relationships first, so people are willing to be vulnerable and they're willing to say those things and put themselves out there a little bit.
In building relationships, which is really the core of what we're talking about today, it takes time and it takes intentionality on your part as a leader. So are you willing to set aside time in your daily meeting or your weekly meeting when you're getting together with your team and talking about this week's work? Are you willing to set aside 5 or 10 minutes or maybe 2 minutes to have discussions about the team and how are you doing and how was your weekend? And we're going to get into a little bit more detail about that in the next video. But the point is that trust flows from relationships, and relationships take time. They take intentionality. You have to want to build those times in the day, in the week, where the team can sit around and just talk and build relationships. And we do that by being together. It could be in the hallway casually, or it could be in a meeting, a number of different settings. And we'll talk about that later. But it does take you as a leader wanting to do this and setting aside the time.
Bill, and I think a lot of times we want to go to a workshop or watch a video or read a book even, and get the answer to these problems. And it's just not found that way. The reality is you have to be doing something small over and over and over a long period of time. This, trust doesn't get broken quickly. It happens over a long period of time, and it has to be repaired over a long period of time. So those relationship building activities are really what we can do as leaders and what you have to commit to. And maybe it's like Bill said, just take 2 minutes at your next staff meeting, but then do it at the next staff meeting, the next staff meeting. You'll start to see things, you'll start to see that big ship turn very slowly. It just takes a commitment over time.
Yeah, we hope you've enjoyed this video. As we said early on, trust is so important, so foundational to your success as a leader and to your team's success. And we appreciate you being here. We appreciate the fact that you're taking a few minutes to invest in your leadership. We offer lots of services at LeaderGov. We provide retreat services, facilitation, strategic planning, and of course, professional development services. We're also on LinkedIn and Facebook and other social media. We'd love to have you join us there. So please check us out, and we look forward to talking to you at some point. In the meantime, until next week, hope you have a great day.
Have a great day. We'll see you soon.